Well, at least they got their heads in a game. Now, if only we can get them interested in the right sport. The Wheatland Lobos at the Sheridan Troopers for a doubleheader. Game 1, top of the first. Kyle Atkinson pitching for Sheridan. He has claimed another victim and hung up another 0 on the scoreboard. Bottom of the first, Will Odell has 2 runners in scoring position, and he wants to bring them both in. His single to right field will assure that Kelly Kaza will score, and Drew Adrians will kick it into high gear and score himself to give the home team a 2-0 advantage. As for Odell, well, he didn't last long. Kobe Guile and Braden Fagenbush team up to pick him off, and that'll take care of that scoring threat for a little while. Top of the third, the Troopers come up with their own defense. Connor McCafferty fields the grounder, steps on second for 1, then fires over to Call Easley for the double play. Some felt that these two teams should have played each other last year for the A-League state title. Anyhow, the home team's making a strong case for a championship this year. Atkinson rings up another one, and now it's time to go to the dugout and start swinging the aluminum. Top of the fourth, we lost the ball for a moment on this play, but this should have been routine. Kelson Young is the second baseman, and that throw to first was not even close. Tim Beckett reaches on the error, and Dave Nelson scores an unearned run. Wheatland now trails 2-1. Now, this next highlight ended up being something different than what you see, but it's worth showing. Anthony Apodaca will fly out to center field with a runner at third. There's the out, and Beckett is tagging up. Matt Mullinex never got possession of the ball before the collision, so the plate umpire said safe, but then Sheridan appealed to third, saying that Beckett tagged up too early, and the field umpire called him out. So no runs scored. Bottom of the fourth, Sheridan looking for some insurance. Easley goes the opposite way with a single to right field. Odell's going to press his luck and try to come in from second, and he'd make it in standing. That puts another run on the scoreboard for the Troopers, who now lead 3-1. As for Wheatland, Guile had a pretty good outing on the mound himself. Here he freezes Tony Moore to end the inning, and now his teammates need to get a little run production going. Top of the fifth, actually it was the Troopers giving the opposition a few free gifts. That pickoff try went awry, and it'll open the door for Ty Pollock to go home, and now the score is 3-2. Later, more defense. Watch the dive at short by McCafferty. He kept his eyes on the ball and knew where it was. That was just a great heads-up play. Top of the sixth, blooper time. Hey, ump, you're out. Good recovery. The Troopers were their own worst enemy at times, though. That ball will get away from the catcher, and Nelson will not hesitate. He'll get in under the tag and score for Wheatland, who has now tied this game up at 3 runs apiece. Bottom of the sixth, bear with us for a moment. We lost our focus, but got it back. Drayton Havens ended up hitting a sacrifice fly. Odell is at third, and he's going to cut it close. Great throw by Brendan Ruwert, and Odell just barely made it to the plate ahead of the tag. A split second later, and he would have been out. The home team goes back up 4-3. Top of the seventh, Blaine Giles going to smack this pitch right back to where it came from. The single will net him a ribby as Scott Huckfeld touches the plate for the Lobos, who have evened up this game at 4. Bottom of the seventh, Adrian's now batting. You can't see because of the protective fence, but just watch Ruert's body language in left field. Bye-bye. A 3-run walk-off home run. Remember, doubleheaders are only 7 innings, so this first game is now over, and Sheridan gets the win 7-4. Now on to game 2, and this little one's a little suspicious about the camera, but as long as there's popcorn, there's nothing to worry about. Bottom of the first, this time it was Wheatland making the errors as the ball gets past Joe Hageman. McCafferty will move up 2 bases and score to give the Troopers a 1-0 advantage. Top of the second, the Lobo offense would get going. Fagenbush dribbles the ball into left field for a base hit. That gets Hageman home to tie the score at 1. Moving ahead, bases loaded. Beckett's going the opposite way for a single of his own, and he'll get an RBI for his efforts. Fagenbush is in, and the defending A-League state champs lead 2-1. Same inning, bases still juiced. Apodaca's trying to unload all of them with this long ball to center field. Not quite enough to get out of here, but far enough to the wall and far enough for a pair of runs. Braden Douglas scores from third, not far behind him is Nelson, and now the visitors had a 4-1 advantage. Bottom of the third, the Troopers try to get back into it. Despite all the weird bounces this ball took, Wheatland would get Adriana's out on the fielder's choice, but it got Skylar Deitchie in to make this game a 4-2 contest. Top of the fourth, Wheatland would try to pile on. Pollock's trying to find some room in left field. Geisey tries for the dive and cannot come up with the ball. The single allows Beckett to go home and score to put his team up 5-2. Moving on, Lobos now up 8-2. This was a play that had Sheridan scratching their heads. Bases loaded. Nelson is safe on the air at first, and he'll press ahead to second. Giles scores, and here comes Fagenbush to make it a 10-2 ball game. And then another error by the Troopers defense opens the door for Douglas. That's 3 unearned runs on 2 miscues, and the visitors have a commanding 11-2 lead. But this game was not over. Bottom of the 4th, bases jammed. This should have been a double play, although we lost the ball. The Lobos botched it. Calvin Eisenek is already in. Havens got the green light to head to the plate off of the error. The Troopers were slowly coming back, down 11-4 at this point. Bottom of the 7th, the home team got a few more runs off of sac flies and pass balls, so now they're down 11-9. Geisey's going to take matters in his own hands and deliver with a double into the gap in right center field. McCafferty is in, and Daichi's not too far behind. An 11-2 deficit has been erased, and we're knotted up at 11 all, so we'll need some extra innings. Top of the 8th. Beckett will check his swing for the Lobos, but he'll put the ball in play. It actually worked as Sheridan couldn't handle it. The visitors scored 3 to go up 14-11. Like I said before, this game's not over. Bottom of the 8th, Sheridan needed some runs, and Havens is going to answer the call. He's going long distance to left field, and that ball is out of here. A 2-run shot. That's not what the opposition wanted to have happen in extra innings, but the Troopers still need one more, trailing 14-13. Now on this play, good and bad happened on both sides. McCafferty will knock one all the way to the wall and get extra bases on this play. Odell is giving it everything he's got, and he's trying to come in from first base. We got to play. The ball comes loose. Odell is safe, and we're tied. But McCafferty, the batter and the hero of this play, turned into the GOAT somewhat. He wasn't paying attention, and instead of being the winning run, he ended up being the 3rd out. Bummer. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. This play took some guts. Kaza flies out to left. Daichi's going for broke. The throw home is off target, and this game is over. Sheridan with quite a comeback. They used late inning heroics to win Game 2, 15-14, and would end up getting the doubleheader sweep.